our new addition to the backfield that we just brought in, man. Steelers signing running back Jeremy McNichols. Let's see, man. For Jeremy, this is his 4th season in the league, or it will be his 4th season. His 5th round draft pick out of Boise State, 2017 draft to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And throughout his career, he's bounced around a little bit. He was in San Fran that first season in 17, Indianapolis after that, spent some time in Jacksonville, and then the past 2 years was in Tennessee. And up until Tennessee, he really hadn't had a lot of opportunities in terms of to be on the field and be productive. But these past 2 years, he got a chance, and obviously last year was his best opportunity when Derrick Henry missed the amount of time that he missed. And to me, what Jeremy was able to do, not necessarily as a running back, like running the ball, but as a receiver, to me, that's the part that is so intriguing about this signing here. Just reading off what he did last year alone, in 14 games. All right. 14 games, he had 38 targets, 28 catches, 240 yards, averaged 8.6 yards per catch. But he also had 11 first downs that he was able to generate on those catches as well. To me, man, that is something that when we talk about what are we missing right now with this team, what is, the thing that we need, we talk about that second RB, but more importantly, we talk about a guy that can give you a pass catching element, right? Somebody that's just different than Najee. We want Anthony McFarland to be that guy, but we just haven't seen it happen just yet. And we said, man, we need to bring in a potential veteran, somebody that at least has done this before, that isn't going to cost much, but can come in here and push these guys and ultimately take a little bit of that load off of Najee. To me, man, we didn't even bring up Jeremy McNichols' name at any point during this offseason, but I do think that he is one of those really good signings to address that need. Number one, like you talk about the receiving part, I love that. But number two, he's also going to be direct competition for Benny Snell, for Anthony McFarland, for a Mateo Durant, for a Jalen Warren. And it's ultimately going to make one of those guys have to step up. And if they don't, at least we can say, hey, we saw Jeremy do this just last season. Not 2 years ago, not first year of his career. Then he kind of took some time off. It's like, nah, he's coming off of one of his best, or not one of his best season as a professional. So that's the part for me where I just really like this sign. I think it's low risk, super high reward potentially.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I do wonder if Benny Snell, because these were some of the reports earlier in the offseason, before training camp, that he's kind of got that RB2 spot locked up, or at least just a depth chart spot.
He should, because the special teams element. And that's the part where it's like you're going to have a hard time getting rid of Benny Snell because he's not just in the backfield. He's a core team's member.
And if Najee goes down, I don't know if you want McFarland or like McNichols carrying the load.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Snell's fine. But yeah, in terms of like a scat back, receiving back, I think he's perfect competition for Anthony McFarland, because we haven't really seen Anthony McFarland prove anything up to this point, or at least McNichols. He was one of those running backs we were talking about whenever we played the Titans. It was like, man, they got Foreman, they got this McNichols dude they'll throw the ball to a little bit.
He's like their screen guy.
He did some things.
Couple, like, not a route runner like a L. Bell type, but think more of like a Giovanni Bernard type, Rex Burkhead type, where you're hitting them on screens. You're going to run draw plays with them. They're running 5-yard outs and ends. Yeah, he's another guy.
How about that name?
Yeah, like that's a blast from the past. Yeah. Seriously, dude. But like think that concept with Jeremy McNichols. Like you're not wanting him to be your bell cow. You don't want this guy, with 80% of the touches, 70% of the touches. Nah, but this is a specialized third downs, passing plays, draw plays, screen plays. This is what you bring to the table right here. I'm not going to ask you to sit in here and protect, but when I need a safety valve, that's you. And you got to be ready to make guys miss. And I thought in Tennessee last year, he did a good job of that. And that's the part where it's like, man, this is intriguing right here, man. This is exciting because we can at least say we've seen him do it in NFL action. Whereas with these other guys that we currently have, it's still heavy speculation with them right now.
Speaking of blitz pickup, though, Jeremy McNichols with an impressive blitz pickup on 7-on-7 has looked decent in first practice without pads.
My only issue is everybody has courage when it's helmets only. It's that simple. I'll listen to blitz pickup and any physical related stuff this weekend when they put the pads on. Plenty of people block Vince Williams in blitz pickup and practice doing OTAs and minicamp. Vince took a lot of souls from them same characters in Latrobe when we put them pads on. So that's the only part with Jeremy I'm like, we'll wait.
Pickett's first pass is a completed check down to McNichols.
There it is. Let's go.
So
Started the connection already, man.
Yeah, exactly. So those are the day one reports.
Yeah.
And then obviously that one account had Jeremy McNichols in their top performers based off reports.
Yeah. Like you said, man, and we're not saying he's a world beater by any stretch of the imagination, but you got to remember in the context of who we currently have, Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland, Mateo Durant, and Jalen Warren, none of those guys have one season like how Jeremy had last season. And that was Jeremy's real first legitimate long-term opportunity where he was going to get a chance to be a part of an offense. And it was just good to see him produce the way that he did. But like we said, with our guys, we haven't seen them do that just yet. And it's been for a multitude of reasons. Benny Snell is technically not that style of back, right? With Anthony McFarland, he just hasn't been available to us. We had, we had
a run with Kalen Balazs.
No. I'm thinking of
Jalen Samuels.
That's the one. Yeah, we like Jalen. Like he had a little bit of a spark, right? But he never was able to like fully. Bro, actually, he kind of reminded me of him. Just a little bit more athletic, a little bit more. I think he's faster.
I think he's way faster.
He's definitely faster. But like that style of player where it's like, he's not a traditional running back, but he's not this. It's like, you can do some stuff from a receiving perspective with that. Yes, that's Jeremy right there, man.
Yeah, there's
I like it, though.
Really nothing wrong with the signing.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the guy we didn't know we needed. You think about it, because whenever we're looking at the running back free agents and stuff, you obviously got your eyes going towards some of the bigger names, and I completely forgot about this dude. Who the hell's Jeremy McNichols? But then when we sign him, you see the Titans uni.
Yeah,
all right, I remember talking about him a little bit whenever we faced the Titans last year.
Yeah,
he had a couple catches, and this is the style of back, as you've been saying this whole time, that we don't have.
It's very different, right? We know who Najee is. We know what he brings to the table. That was one of the reasons, like, when we talked about just the different running backs through free agency, and we're like, these are all, like, bigger body backs. They're all, like, what we already have here. It's like, we don't need another Najee. We know who Najee is. Najee wants to get it 500 times. We don't want to give him it 500 times. But if we got another guy that looks just like him, I don't know, man. We're going to keep giving Najee the ball because that guy's not going to be a better version of what Najee already is. But Jeremy brings something different to the table. That's the part that's going to make it intriguing, man. But as a whole, man, I do think that I don't really have a negative with this, man, because
I don't think we've had one negative signing this whole offseason.
Because literally, worst case is what? Anthony McFarland steps up, he's healthy, and he puts it all together and shows why we drafted him. And now it's like,
maybe he could be a higher end version of McNichols.
Absolutely. So either way, that's a win. And if that's not the case, and it's Jeremy that has to step up, well, we've already seen him do this just last season. So either way, man, I think that across the board, it's a win, man. Yeah. Shout out to Omar Khan, man.
Am I wrong? I don't think there's been one negative signing.
Shout out to Omar Khan, man.
Seriously.
He even went controversy. He brought in the quote unquote op. Larry Ogunjobi with the whole Mason thing. Like,
it's a great sign.
I love it, man. Maybe that's why Mason is balling out too right now, because he sees like, just know if you want on my team right now, I'd be lighting you up like this too, sucker. Like maybe that's his idea,
Maybe. That's the stupidest story that's come out of signing Ogunjobi, acting like there'd be some beef between Mason and Ogunjobi. Are you kidding me? He pushed him to the ground like 3 years ago.
Deke, why are they trying to like force it down? Like it's like force feeding into it. Like,
it is
everything. Larry, Larry, did you talk to him? Oh, you talked to him back. Oh, Mason, you talked to him. Oh, Larry, is there any hard feelings? Are you sure about it? It was like, enough. Well, I thought y'all already talked about this when he was brought in. Like that, he went on record. We talked about them talking about it. Like
there was nothing personal about the action that took place.
It wasn't like he was Myles Garrett. You know what I mean? Like that. I think if Myles was here now, you're like, okay, well, you two are definitely going at it. But Larry was just that's his homie, as a partner.
That's exactly what Pouncey did.
Yeah,
on our end.
Exactly what Pouncey did. Yeah,
like it could have been anyone. Ogunjobi's just the name.
Is it?
But the only reason, like, I guess we remember it now is just being brought up is because we signed the guy. So, like, that was not the most memorable thing from that whole interaction, for sure.
It definitely wasn't. Nor was it afterwards either. So, yeah. But, dude, I'm liking what Omar's been doing so far, man. He's definitely been off to a hot start, man. Now, obviously, we'll get a chance to see how these moves pay off. But initially on paper, I think Omar Khan has been doing a pretty top-notch job, man.
Levi Wallace, Ogunjobi, Miles Jack. Our draft was awesome, obviously. I mean,
take
Mason Cole, James Daniels.
You get Minka before Derwin James gets his deal, where that price is going to go up.
Akello back at $4 million. Terrell Edmonds at what, $2 million or something?
You get Akello and Levi.
Kazi too at like $1 million.
Levi and Akello at $4 a year. Think about that.
I guess the only one.
Bring in James Daniels.
Yeah.
Upgrade the O-line.
I guess the only one some would argue, and this isn't all on Omar Khan either, because Kevin Colbert was around at the time, would be the Trubisky side. Oh, yeah, I guess you could say Chooks. Maybe we overpaid for Chooks.
Yeah. See, to me, I don't think the Trubisky one.
No, well, especially with how we
designed
designed the rest of the offseason. Like, he was our first signing. If you had concerns about Trubisky right off the bat, I get that. But then how we built the rest of the roster and drafted and everything, it's like, all right, no, Steelers had a plan from the get-go.
Yeah.
And that's all we wanted them to do. And I think they executed pretty good.